that superhighway onto Facebook Live. We are live. We are the Oasis Palisades Retreat Collective. Good morning to our weekly wellness wake up. And today we wanted to talk to you about becoming your own medicine. What are the foundational lifestyle practices that you can have in place that will have you living in a way that supports your wellness? And so these basic principles, we can chunk all of this down to a very simple, very doable. What are the top 3 things you need to be doing to live in a way that promotes your wellness? So I like to call it's the 3 M's of becoming your own medicine. What is your mindset when you are faced with mental, emotional stress? How do we respond? So I'll talk a little bit about that. We can face stress, we can face fear and overwhelm by using a breathing technique. We can do something very simple to shift our state out of emotional overwhelm and get back present to ourselves, conscious to make a choice about how to face and respond to circumstances that gave us emotional overwhelm. So we can use a breathing technique. We can use tapping for that, for example. So that's the mind aspect that also includes our emotions. And then the other 2 M's of becoming your own medicine, right? You have to have what you put in your mouth, right? The nutrition, the herbal medicine, how you support yourself with vital nutrients that changes the whole dynamic of your quality of life. And so Dr. Tiare White, who's also an acupuncturist like myself, a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, is going to talk about one of the number 1 basic fundamental adaptogenic herbs that can really support your wellness overall, boost your immunity, for example, and help you stay healthy. So we want to help people stay healthy. So we're also looking at how do we get those nutrients not only through the mouth, but you can also get them absorbed through the skin. And so that's Stephanie Kanan, who is the co-owner of Oasis Palisades Wellness Center. We have a wonderful nutrient body sculpting treatment that delivers these amazing micronutrients into the body, absorbing through the skin directly bloodstream, that can also promote well-being, that can also boost immunity. And so besides this wonderful nutrient body sculpting, we can also talk about the 3rd M of medicine, which is movement, becoming your own medicine through movement, because Stephanie Kanan also is an accomplished dancer, dance instructor, and offers belly dancing classes that you can do virtually online. So I'm going to throw it over to Dr. Tiare, because you can also schedule virtual consults with her to get customized herbal medicine protocols for your specific needs. But this is a wonderful just number 1 go-to herb that everyone can learn about with her today. That is one of the foundational, greatest hits, so to speak, of herbal medicine that you guys can take advantage of. So take it away, Tiare. Educate us. What is one of the greatest hits of traditional Chinese herbal medicine?
Okay. Well, let me share my screen with you guys here. And I will go ahead and start. We're going to be talking about reishi mushroom. Do you see it now? Are you looking at my screen now?
Yes, the screen is up. We can see the reishi mushroom now.
Okay, perfect. So reishi mushroom, which is Ganoderma lucidum, also known as linger, this is a tonic in the Chinese pharmacopoeia that is really looked at as a king level, herb in terms of its potency, in terms of its foundational power for people's lives. There's so much interesting lore in Taoist literature and other aspects of Chinese literature about this mushroom being a foundation for spiritual development and physical wellness. And of course, in our medicine, those 2 things sort of go together, not really looked at as separate. But when you have a good physical foundation, then you have a good spiritual foundation, and likewise, they go hand in hand. So this mushroom is amazing for immunity. And of course, that's something that is on everyone's mind these days. But in that sense, it is very good for longevity, and it's frequently in the Taoist literature. You'll see these Taoist immortals, and oftentimes they're holding this strange fan-looking thing, which is actually a reishi mushroom. So this mushroom is particularly beneficial because it's an adaptogenic herb, and that's a term that's been, being used a lot these days because there are so many of these adaptogenic herbal compounds that are coming into wide circulation. Like ashwagandha is another, widely known adaptogenic, but reishi will help boost things that need to be boosted, and it'll help even out things that need to be evened out. And we can see here that it's great for spirit calming, insomnia, palpitations, mania, forgetfulness, poor digestion. It's widely used in Chinese medicine for cancer support because of its immune system modulating capacities. This is a product that is great to just include in your daily regimen, okay? Not something that you necessarily want to be just running to as a one-off thing whenever you're feeling a little bit run down. It's really something to be taking and including in your regimen on a daily basis. And that's where you're going to get the real benefits. Because it is an herb that overall is has a tonifying effect, it's something that if you are already very ill, you already have a big cold or flu situation going on, this is not an herb that you want to add at that point in time, because in Chinese medicine, we look at when someone has an excess or extreme deficiency condition happening that's manifesting particularly as a respiratory issue, you want to just deal with that. You want to deal with that imbalance more directly. And then once you've gotten rid of that, you want to go back to taking something like the reishi. So it's a great preventative. It's a great thing to help create a really strong health foundation. But if you're already in an extreme state of imbalance, it's better to take a formula to help deal with those other symptoms that are going on, rather than run to the reishi at that point. Come back to the reishi once you've taken your formulas to deal with the whatever pathogenic situation might be going on. So that is what I have to say about reishi. Ron T. Garden is a reishi, let's see, we can call him a reishi master in a sense. He's the guy who really popularized reishi for your mainstream, if you want to call it mainstream Chinese herbal audience. He's got a tremendous number of reishi products. He has very rare purple reishi. He's got very rare wild reishi from, the Changbai Mountains and this, super pristine UNESCO, heritage wilderness area. He's got crack spore reishi, all kinds of interesting stuff. And of course, he has a tremendous amount of literature on his site about reishi mushroom. And I'm not getting any benefit from promoting Ron T. Garden, but I think that
it's just a great resource, the DragonHerbs.com website, to learn more and buy some reishi.
Yeah, and people who don't know a lot about reishi, it's just a great thing. If you Google wild reishi or reishi supplement and just Ron, you'll come up with his website, and you'll be able to get a lot of good information there. So the only thing I would add just in closing about it is that you do want to make sure that the reishi that you're getting is actually reishi extract, not ground up reishi, because the reishi itself is almost like a hard wood. It is not a mushroom that you can cook. It's not a mushroom that you can just take a powdered form of it and expect your body to be able to extract stuff from it, because it's too hard. There's too much plant matter in there that is not digestible. The cell walls of that mushroom are not digestible in that way. So you need to extract it with a dual extraction with water and alcohol extract. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that you get that extract that doesn't contain any hexane or other chemicals that are sometimes used to make extracts. So you want to make sure that you are getting your reishi from a source that talks about how they're extracting it, the fact that it is an extract and is not just a powdered form of the mushroom, because there are going to be really big price differences happening with reishi between stuff that's just powdered reishi, which basically you'd have to take like 6 or 10 times as much of that product to actually get any benefit that you can extract from it, versus a true granule extraction form supplement. And that's what you want to look for. There's that, and there's also the reishi spores, which contain a lot of benefit, but they have to be cracked spores, and they usually come in like an oil form of some kind. So those are available from all kinds of different sources, including Ron.
And then too, I want to say and encourage everyone, you can book herbal consultations with Dr. Tiare. She's a herbalist. She has completed all of the study in traditional Chinese medicine to help you customize formulas and answer questions for you depending on your health conditions to create a customized formula for you too. And so you can book those herbal consultations with her. Her website, tiarewhite.com, as well, is available for all of you guys, and to get some of the references of where to buy these products too. So I'll include the link to the dragon herbs as well for people to look things up. And then too, the birds in the background. I just want to say too, Tiare, you have some amazing birds in the background. She has a wonderful retreat center in Ojai. I'm hearing all of the beautiful birds there. And so that's another opportunity too to do small group retreats with us as the Oasis Palisades Retreat Collective at Oasis in the Palisades or Tiare's Retreat Center in Ojai, and you can meet all these wonderful birds that we hear in the background.
Yeah.
What did you want to say, Stephanie?
I was just gonna, before Tiare has to go, I was going to say that I got to experience yesterday something that I want to know more, that Dr. Tiare was teaching us how to have your own toolbox of herbal teas, and you can like, oh, I need a little more energy. Let me go take some of this and this and this. Oh, I got a little stomach ache. Let me go, to my little herbal toolbox, or whatever you want to call it, my little pantry of herbs. And so that is something else that people can privately or in a group setting learn from Dr. Tiare. And I really want to have a tea herbal pharmacy, and then also learn more. So stay tuned, y'all.
Stay tuned. We'll definitely do that. We'll do a group offering of that, and then in addition, we can also do one-on-one consults that are focused on creating your own customized home herbal pharmacy.
Yeah, for yourself and for your family, so you can identify what to keep on hand in your house for boosting immunity, or dealing with cold symptoms, or dealing with energy, or helping to balance your hormones. There's so many great herbs that Dr. Tiare can help you understand are best to be kept in your house and when to use them. So we're so excited you can share this great information with all of us today. anyone that
Thank
has
you,
any
Renee.
questions, contact us, and we'll field them to Dr. Tiari, and we'll follow up to answer questions about herbs. But yes, reishi,
Awesome.
yay,
Yay.
great herb.
I know, it's a great one. I'm going to go take my reishi now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll see you guys on the next webinar.
yeah, we'll
Okay.
see you next week.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So we wanted to capitalize on that introduction. So what do we need in our bodies? So when I talk about how to become your own medicine, the point is to train people in self-care so you can become able to treat yourself. So that's the idea of building your own herbal pharmacy to go to based on your own constitution. How you can learn how to take care of yourself is our whole goal here with our Wellness Wake Ups, offering this self-care education. And then when we think about that, so the 3 M's of becoming your own medicine includes what goes into your body, and it doesn't just have to go into your mouth as one of the 3 M's of being your own medicine. We have this wonderful nutrient body sculpting treatment that we offer at the Oasis Palisades Health and Wellness Center, because we could have these vital nutrients, antioxidants, minerals, and vitamins absorbed through the skin into the bloodstream in order to assist our body in having the right building blocks to regenerate us in order to maintain our immunity, maintain our overall health and wellness and mood. And then what's so exciting about this treatment, both Stephanie and I have personally done it, and we have delivered it to clients as well. And so there's a wonderful aspect of the treatment where if you want to lose the Netflix binge watching weight, you can get a great jump start with this treatment, because you lose inches in every treatment. The average person will lose anywhere from 4 to 8 inches each week per treatment. So for example, I lost 26 inches in 3 dress sizes in my 5 treatments that I did last July. And in my experience working with clients, delivering the treatment is the same too, in that it was a great jump start for me to get back into having more energy and better sleep, so I could get back into a more movement exercise routine to really build my lifestyle too. So when we get these vital nutrients in us, whether it's from herbs and vitamins or through the nutrient body sculpting, our body turns on.
So can you explain a little bit about, so these micronutrients and minerals that are a special formula that like a NASA doctor, and like, you know, we can talk about that, you know, if anybody has any questions about the formula. But so these micronutrients and minerals, the bandages are soaked in these and then wrapped in the body. So you're giving the body the minerals that the body needs, but you're also pulling out the toxins. Can you explain like how that works as well?
Again, what it is that we want to give the body the vital nutrients that it needs. So our body is in the process of creating chemical reactions from oxygen and nutrients coming in. The cells can respirate, they can have chemical reactions. So things need to come in and out of the cell membrane and stimulate change. So when we detox, we want to move out waste products from cells. We want to move out inflammation, and we want it to clear through the lymphatic system. So one of the things that's essential within the sculpting treatment is that we are sculpting with the wraps so that we're putting pressure. So Stephanie Keenan is also a massage therapist. So any type of pressure stimulates all the waste products, all of the toxins and all of the inflammatory fluids to clear out of the body's lymphatic system. So when we do the wrapping with the
and
pressure,
they're on the shaker machine, so that's also pulling out. I'm trying to process it all from start to finish in my mind with putting the minerals in and then shaking up the body and then pulling out. So maybe
people don't know what a shaker machine means. That is a vibration plate.
Vibration plate, yes.
Because when we bounce, again, the bouncing action on the body, we're stimulating all of these waste products to go into the lymph system to clear with the pressure of the sculpting of the wrapping, and also with the bouncing on the vibration plate. And then I also do in traditional Chinese medicine and Qigong practice. Qigong is energy movement like yoga, martial arts. When we do a light tapping massage, I'm sharing.
That's right. That's right. That's
I'm
right.
also doing this on the client too during the process while you
I
are
forgot about
in
that.
your
Yes, you're right.
because we want to help your body do its job. So one of the ways we can look at excess weight is we have excess weight because our body is behind on keeping up with the process of detoxing and eliminating waste from our body. And so these treatments are helping to stimulate the body, assist the body in that process. So inflammation is a reaction to toxicity, where the body is attempting to protect your inner organs from these chemical substances. And so fat is like a quarantine of that, attempting to protect your organs from those things being absorbed. So when we start to clear out all of our waste products and toxins, help our body keep up with that, it doesn't need to retain weight in order to protect us from those things. Mm-hmm. And then when we reduce the inflammation in the body and we reduce the weight gain, it's really the inflammation in the body that's been researched in clinical research that's the root of all of the top 5 diseases that kill us, like heart disease and diabetes. And then you don't have this resistant weight that you're having trouble losing because your body's not desperately trying to hold on to it.
How does that work on the mental, emotional? I know that there is a correlation to the whole thing with feeling calmer, more relaxed. So how does that work?
Yes. So again, within the vitamin nutrient.
That's right. The vitamins that I forget what is that one vitamin?
Well, one of the ones is magnesium that relaxes muscles that are in contraction, and minerals are grounding, they're calming to the nervous system. So again, when we have a micronutrient deficiency, this is a big area that's very important. It's a fundamental thing to look at for our overall health. So if our body doesn't have the proper nutrition, it can't rebuild us. So we have 3 trillion cells our body has to regenerate. Right. It's a big job. It's like a construction site. If we don't have the wood and the nails and the cement, what kind of house can be built? So it's the same with our body. So these, especially minerals, are grounding and calming to our nervous system. Things like B vitamins, our nervous system cannot operate healthy, functionally well without proper nutrients.
Okay, so remember how we were telling Tiare, like, what's the one, this is a side note, I'm just going on a side note tangent. Mm-hmm. So we were talking before, I think we weren't recording, about offering and starting from the basics. So Tiare gave the one herb to talk about a basic. So we need to get
these nutrients in our body. And one of the main heavy hitters in the greatest hits of nutrients that our body needs is antioxidants. Mm-hmm. So this nutrient body sculpting nutrient package that the wraps are soaked in, that soak through your skin into your bloodstream, this has been... So Dr. Prasad is a PhD. He's the world leading expert in antioxidant science. So he's the former president of the International Society for Nutrition and Cancer. So he was invited by the Nobel Prize Committee to nominate a candidate for the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1982. So he's published over 250 papers in peer-reviewed journals regarding clinical research on antioxidants. And their assistance in the body. So he is actually the one that has evaluated and approved this formula. So he's the author of Micronutrients in Health and Disease. And he was featured in the livestrong.com article, Are You Micronutrient Deficient and Do Not Know It?
So I think we probably all are.
Exactly. What is our level of nutrition, micronutrients? And antioxidants are fundamental because oxidation is when cells die. So they're
Mhm.
not healthy and they die. So
Can
an
you explain?
antioxidant is
Yeah.
preventing cell death. It's keeping our cells healthy. So things like blueberries are high in antioxidants. They do
Mhm.
come from food, but do each of us eat a bucket of blueberries every day for breakfast? Can
Mhm.
anyone raise their hand that they do that, right?
Right.
And then how many years have we had too little antioxidants? So that's why there are some wonderful labs. Like, for example, in my practice, I can order labs for patients to diagnose what the micronutrient deficiencies are so we can treat them. So we can measure the function of the nutrient body sculpting treatment to deliver these nutrients into the body like vital antioxidants, so that we can see the changes in the numbers on the labs, and then you can see why your quality of life is changing.
Yeah.
Like you said, when you have your nutrient levels in proper amounts, you feel more calm, more relaxed. Like, patients will
That
say
makes
after
more
this,
sense, of
right,
course.
the nutrient body sculpting treatments, you can feel more grounded, more relaxed, less muscle tension, tightness, and pain. You can sleep
Mhm.
better. One of my favorite quotes from a patient is, "I slept like a cloud after the treatment." And like when
Mhm.
I had the treatments, I would have them at the end of my workday. And as a chronic pain patient myself from a car accident in 1994, I have aches and pains at the end of the day. So like one of the minerals in the nutrient body sculpting nutrients, magnesium, relaxes contracted spasmed muscles, which is what I have from working all day, from driving, from being physically active. So I get to relieve some of that pain by having a treatment like this and getting those vital nutrients in. And so
Mhm.
when these are researched, evaluated, and endorsed by someone like a leading antioxidant doctor, scientist like Dr. Prasad, it's because they are what has been clinically researched as necessary for our body to function properly, right? With things
Mhm.
like antioxidants and minerals like magnesium at the proper levels, right?
Mhm.
In order to have quality of life, in order to have a sense of calm, in order to have less aches and pains, in order to sleep better, that's all required, right? In
Mhm.
order for our body to rebuild us constantly, these 3 trillion cells to remake us from scratch, right? It needs the right construction materials. So within the 5 treatment package, for example, there's always this shift within week 2, week 3, after 2 or 3 of the treatments, where the body has been receiving these nutrients and
Mhm.
starts to really function better and turn on. And so what happens with all of really myself included and all of the patients I've worked with over the last year, you start to have more energy, you feel more rested. It's easier to wake up in the morning a little bit earlier, get back into an exercise routine, jumpstart switching back to focusing on your health becomes easier. And so
Exactly.
after that jump start with the 5 treatment package, people can really get back into a lifestyle that is
All I
promoting
know
wellness.
is it jump started your I'll say I can't say your I don't want to get kicked off Facebook. Your booty. It jump started your booty to a whole new you. Is
Yeah.
I still every time I see you I'm still in like from where but from a year it's only a year ago, right? I guess.
Yeah, it was last July when we were giving each other the
Was it?
nutrient
Oh my goodness. Oh, you're right. Oh my goodness.
July,
We had
last July.
wow, I
Because
love it.
again, there are different, I think this is something really important to share with everybody today, that in the 4 main areas of life, there's really 4 main areas. We have our health, we have our relationships, we have our work, we have our finances. These are the 4 fundamental areas we all have to manage. And what can happen sometimes if we focus on work and finances, right, it can be at the expense of health and relationships. And so for me, I was focused on finishing my degrees in 10 years for traditional Chinese medicine, master's and doctoral degrees, and getting my license, passing my board exam, and starting my practice, starting to work in my own office in Hollywood and work with Oasis Palisades. So my health got on the back burner. So when we go through stress periods and we're overworked, I didn't keep up with my exercise routine every day. I gave that time up, right, to do these other tasks. So I landed last July. I had gained about 50 pounds over this whole process of overworking 10 years, and coming to fruition with all of these commitments I made to doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, and I have my medical license. So it was a big undertaking, and I was burnt out. And we can. I love these flaxseed brownie bites. They're gluten-free from Flax for Life. Like I could eat more of those brownie bites, right?
My point is you're definitely practicing. You're definitely practicing what you're preaching, and it's not just like fluff. It's if it's just like it works if you work it. It works if you work it. It works if you work it. It works if you work it.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Because if we do the work, we get the results with the human body. It's absolutely guaranteed. And especially too with mental, emotional stress. So our body is like a great pet, our mind body, how we respond to stress. These are all patterns. So we can have ourselves learn a new pattern. We need to practice it for a good 6 weeks to make a new habit to shift things. So that's what's nice about the 5 treatment package idea. We're working towards shifting how we live each day to create a foundation of how we include our self-care, include our health, everything we manage, not just do everything else and then we're last on the list with no time or energy into our health, for example. And so our body will respond and get used to it. So with the greater exercise activity, and then having better sleep, more energy, more rest, it's easier to get up in the morning. All the nutrients are in, and then taking herbal medicine, like something like the reishi too, for example, we can build these little pieces of our puzzle of the self-care that now we have in place, and then it allows us to do many great things. And same idea with stress release too. So like Stephanie Kanan is a wonderful dance instructor. She's an expert belly dancer. She has belly dancing classes virtually online too, because from having the extra energy and better sleep, having the jump start of something like the nutrient body sculpting, something like taking the reishi mushroom, then you have more energy to participate in the belly dancing class and have some kind of movement, right, that you enjoy be part of your routine. And then that just keeps building your health and quality of life. And so that's a wonderful asset too, is how can we look at getting our vital nutrients inside of our body, and how can we look at getting healthy movement inside of our lives too, that's going to help us have a great quality of, right, grow our wellness. And then this last aspect we can talk about here is how do we face mental emotional stress. So if we have that nutrition in, right, where our nervous system isn't as weak. Oh, we can't hear you. You're muted.
I was saying you totally read my mind. I was saying you totally read my mind on what's important to focus on next. And we had no script. It's mental health and being willing to and committed.
How do we face stress and emotional?
Right. So one of the things we were talking about,
because that's the question.
We're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. I think my
I don't know, your volume's going in and out. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it cut off your voice a little bit.
Yeah, so a little bit of a technical difficulty. So yeah, talk about mental, how important it is to breathe. How important it is to breathe.
Yes, I love that, because again, we will naturally sigh, right, when we're stressed, because our body knows that's going to relieve the tension. So the best tool for changing our body from being stuck in the sympathetic fight or flight stress response, where our whole body is in tension, is to breathe, because we're not breathing. So when we're in stress response, we're hunched forward, we breathe shallow in our chest. It keeps residual carbon dioxide in our lungs. It makes us more irritable. And then we have tension shrugging up our shoulders. We'll scrunch our forehead. That's why we can get the wrinkles in the forehead. And in this subconscious stress response, we don't even realize we go into. It's autopilot. It's built in us. We'll scrunch our forehead, shrug our shoulders up, we'll clench our hands and our feet, we'll lean forward, we'll breathe shallow, we're irritable, we're ready to fight, right? And we're ready to run away. We have all these stress chemicals and blood sugar spike, and it'll make this extra weight around our abdomen like a spare tire, right? So when we look at our body where we have lines on the face, or where we're collecting weight around our abdomen below our belly button, these are indicators to us. If we make friends with the sensations and symptoms, so to speak, that we see in our body, it's a message. It's the only way our body has to communicate with us to ask for assistance. So it's asking us, how can you deal with stress better? And the best way to do it, that I love, that's free, it goes everywhere with us, is changing our breathing. So if I'm hunched forward and I'm all scrunched up and I'm all tight and I'm breathing shallow and I'm irritable and I'm stressed out, the best thing we can do is sigh. We can roll our shoulders back. We can open up our chest. We can even put our hand on our abdomen below our belly button to make sure we breathe into our abdomen, not just shallow in the chest. And so when we are responding to life circumstances with a fight or flight stress response, we can catch each other in the moment. We can lean back, open our chest, put our hand on our abdomen, and take a nice big deep breath and let it out with a sigh.
And then we segue, and then we segue into having that peace and calm, because one of the other things we talked to in our retreat small group of us, we got together as Oasis Palisades Retreat Collective, got together yesterday and had our own retreat, and we were able to just laugh about what's going on, all the craziness in the world, but to breathe, be at peace with ourselves, and to show love and peace to everyone else, and patience and compassion, and not be so crazy and let other things and other people's energies of insanity affect us.
By just taking the moment to do that, whether you're with other people or by yourself, at any moment we can stop. We can stop. We can open up our chest, breathe into our abdomen, and we can sigh out tension. And this is a very, very well known for thousands of years breathing technique from yoga, where it's the 4-7-8 breathing technique. You only need to do this 4 times in a row, and you can change your nervous system, change your state. It can stop panic attacks. It can help you if you're having trouble falling asleep. You can use it at any moment you feel stress and anxiety. If you're interacting with somebody that stresses you out, you can change your breathing. They don't even know it. But you can change your response to whatever is causing a stress reaction, and you can change your stress reaction, come back to calm. So you breathe into your abdomen to the count of 4. You hold your breath for the count of 7, and you exhale twice as long to the count of 8. And you only have to do this 4 times in a row. And just like Stephanie did, when you exhale to the count of 8 at the end, you can blow the air out of your mouth. So let's do it together 4 times. We're going to inhale into our hand on our abdomen with our chest back. Take a big deep breath into the abdomen. Now inhale to the count of 4. Hold the breath for the count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale to the count of 8. Slowly out of your mouth. 5, 6, 7, 8. And now do 3 more times. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold for the count of 7. Exhale to the count of 8. And now 2 more times. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold for the count of 7. Exhale to the count of 8. And now one last time. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold for the count of 7. Exhale to the count of 8. So see, you'll shake out the tension. You feel calmer. You feel centered.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we feel overwhelmed, we can just do this 4, 7, 8 breathing technique 4 times. Come back to ourselves. Take the edge off.
All is right in the world.
It is. And now you can go out to deal with anything now from a more empowered, centered, calm, conscious state, not overwhelm, emotional reaction, fight or flight. Now you're back into your best self. Your parasympathetic, rest, digest, repair, healing, fully present self. And that took just 4 rounds of that breath. It's literally less than 1 minute. That's what I love about this. Goes anywhere you go, no matter what you're doing. Now, if you're interacting with someone that's stressing you out, you don't have to blow the air out big. Just exhale out of your nose. You'll still be able to deal with the stressful situation better if you're in the middle of something, just by doing this 4 times. Because our biggest issue here is stress creates inflammation too. Not just toxic chemicals in the air and pesticides and being overrun with pollution, but also stress responds. It shuts down our immunity, shuts down our digestion, makes us gain this stress weight, throws off our hormone balance. It turns into all kinds of health conditions. So the best thing we can do for ourselves when we talk about chunk it down to what are the top 3 fundamentals of our health. How do we face stressful situations? We can use this breathing technique. How do we get
does that breathing, I was going to ask you to close in showing us how that we could raise our vibration quickly. And one of is the breathing. I know it's calming. So that in the calming, we're probably in more of a neutral.
Let's take that vibration question into a Western science context. This can help. So we are making electricity in our body. So the Krebs cycle, when we have
let me just say, because sometimes people, like, I've experienced 3 major things in one day going on, and I sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of people are dealing with a lot of stuff going on. So we are constantly all day long having to stay one step ahead of falling apart. So we have to. For me, it's dancing.
You had said it, though, because if you take the moment with the 4, 7, 8 breathing technique, you got rid of all the tension in your body. Your electrical flow can now flow easily through your body. It makes space. You can
I like that, making space. We have to make. I just studied something. You have to make space in everything in your body and your mind.
Part of your being. It's mental, emotional, and physical. It's all tied together. That's mind-body medicine. So the mind and body are in this relationship. When we soften the body, it softens the mind, softens the emotions. It declutters our heart. All that tension is gone. So after that 4 cycles of 4, 7, 8 breathing, if you want to raise your vibration, if you want to raise your frequency of energy, if you want to become more positive, loving gratitude. So now you have space to insert.
That's right. The gratitude, the joy and gratitude.
Of love and gratitude Connect
Love,
with what
joy,
you love most.
gratitude. Love,
Connect
joy,
with
gratitude.
what you're most grateful for, and you will feel an unlimited amount
There
of
you
joy.
go. That does
But
it.
we have to stop. We have to stop and make the space for it.
Yeah, yeah.
So then immediately after those 4 cycles of breathing, what can you think of that you love most, that gives you the most joy and gratitude you're grateful for? And let yourself really feel it, because now you can feel all of that beautiful emotion run through your body, because emotions are energy. It's electrical energy. You opened up all the channels now. You can raise your frequency, change your entire state of being, body, mind, spirit, and physical body.
And then that actually, I was going to say, I know you're a big fan of Brendan Burchard, who also works with Tony Robbins, who also is the whole thing about the state thing, but also anchoring. I just remembered anchoring. So once you breathe, you breathe and you raise up grateful joy, and then you anchor that feeling so that it comes back faster each time. Like
so the more we get used to going there, the easier it is to go there fast and deep. So we catch ourselves. So another thing from Tony Robbins is this ANT idea, automatic negative thoughts of stress. When they come up, we face them with the 4 cycles of the breathing technique, and we face them by having that space now that we plant our gratitude and love and joy in us. We let ourselves feel it and we anchor it in.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
one of the,
we catch ourselves when we get away from that again.
Yeah.
At any moment, right? Whatever crazy thing comes our way. Okay, we can come back to it.
One of the things I've done for years in my dance class, and I just realized I haven't really been doing this one exact thing, is we, at the end of dance class, when we're cooling down, we breathe in all the good and let out all the bad. But then when we breathe in all the good and we're anchoring that feeling of how amazing we just felt doing that dance class.
Yeah,
and
free, alive, grateful, joyful.
Yeah, we're breathing in that, we're remembering that feeling. And then also on the opposite side, and then we've talked about the post-traumatic stress, where you can have the same thing happen, like triggers. Like there's certain things that can trigger and have the opposite effect. Like for me, doorbells trigger a fear sometimes, because oh no, who's there? Or things
when that happens, then you can change your state.
Right.
You don't have to just stay in the fear response to the trigger.
Right.
You can take back yourself again from the fear response of the trigger, because we all have triggers, don't we?
Okay, quickly. I keep saying quickly, we got to go, but tell me how, say that so the doorbell rings, the fear response happens, you have to go back to the breathing, or is there?
Yes, exactly.
It's just that.
So that's the point, is that this is a neural net pattern. So we have this neural net in our brain. It's like a spider web. We hear a trigger. We have a certain thought. It creates an emotion. It creates a physiological effect through our entire body, and it takes over, puts us into the amygdala in the back of the brain. We're in a stress response. So that's a habitual pattern. It's just a pattern.
So basically, we're living life to not be in that flight or fight.
Exactly.
Because how many people are living in that constant stress, constant, which then turns into the post-traumatic.
Exactly, because that just means that we've been stuck in the stress response for longer than a month. Our body forgot how to get out of it. So we want to retrain our body, and it only takes 6 weeks to make a new habit. So we interrupt the pattern. So this is a neural net pattern. And we just need to cut that cord of that pattern, and we interrupt it every time with the breathing technique and bringing in that joy and gratitude again, making that space and having that feeling replace and reset our whole body, mind, and spirit, our nervous system. So we
Yeah.
do it on purpose in 2 minutes whenever that happens. And then that pattern gets weaker and weaker and weaker. It's easier and easier to switch out of it. It's no big deal to switch out of it. And now we're in complete control of our life experience.
And maybe you can
stress.
I mean, and I'm trying to think of like, is it always has to be the 4? Or can you get there with a 1 breath? Like, like.
Well, what I find is the standard use of the breathing technique is 4 cycles.
Yeah,
the
4
4
cycles.
cycles take less than a minute.
Okay, so somebody can just get
Mhm.
I think it should be in our daily practice of just.
And that's the thing. If it's in our daily practice and we
Mhm.
use the tool frequently,
Mhm.
we will kill that other automatic negative thought pattern.
Mhm.
We will kill that neural net pattern. It will
Mhm.
die.
Mhm.
So whatever we focus on grows stronger in our life.
Mhm.
So it's just like any muscle we build, like when you teach your belly dancing, right? When we take your class regularly, we build those muscles. The movements get easier for us. We go on this journey
Mhm.
of becoming stronger in this area. Same idea. So we're always looking at this arc. In the beginning, it's awkward and weird. In the first couple of weeks, we forget to use it, right? We are not used to it. We wonder if we're doing it right or not. All this stuff of new habits, right? With anything that we've ever learned, like your first original belly dancing class, when you first started class, you're learning how to move in a totally different way than you ever have before. So it's same with the breathing technique.
Can I say one thing really quick, which you probably have no idea? I was in the bank and I was looking at the Argonaut magazine, and I learned to belly dance. I was 19 years old. I was a little punk rocker with short hair, and it was spiked up blue and purple. I have a nose ring and all these earrings and dressed all punk rock crazy. I show up to Angela's door. I want to learn to belly dance. And she looked at me and she laughed, and she tells the story, but she's still one of my dearest friends. I'm still dancing with her. Now I'm like, we partnered together with our dance company and with our meetups and our dance classes, and she's my mentor. But it's funny how she takes all the credit of me becoming a feminine, beautiful woman.
Right, you gave me the whole other person. And that's what's so fun is that we can do, we can be, we can become anything that we want or need. It happens one step at a time, one day at a time.
Exactly, right?
We
I
use
know,
one
exactly,
tool.
right? It's like
We
I've
do
been
one
doing this a long, long, long time. So, and anybody can do it and enjoy it, and it is.
And that's the point, is we all need to move. In what way would you enjoy movement as being a part of your fundamental wellness growing lifestyle? So belly dancing is fun.
Yeah.
So
Amen.
the question is, for all of us, what would be a fun way for you to move? What would be an effective, easy, simple, like I love the 4-7-8 breathing technique. It's free, it's portable, it goes anywhere. You can use it at any moment. It's simple, it's effective. In 1 minute, 2 minutes tops, you change everything. So that's a way to get our mind and our emotions back under control, right?
Yeah.
Not overwhelming us. And so that handles our mind of becoming our own medicine. And then how can we move? What would that look like for you guys? Just ask yourself, is it a dance class? Like you can do the belly dancing class online with Stephanie at 11 o'clock on Saturdays. What does it look like for you? Is it a hike? Is it a walk? What is it going to look like for you to move each day? Even if it's a simple tapping technique or
every day you gotta do something.
A simple daily practice, something that you enjoy, that's effective, that's fun.
And I want to share and end on this, that one of the things I admire about you, because I was going to share to everybody that we're here for you if you need, emotional support, physical support, health support, whatever. But I liked one of the things, I don't remember what setting we were in, when you had said, like, if I've been seeing, I would never see somebody for 2 years or 3 years and not help them. Like, if I knew I wasn't being able to help somebody, I would refer them to somebody else. So
Yeah.
I think it's so important for us to have our self-care, physical, emotional.
And that brings into the community aspect of it too. So what we've been doing with our Wellness Weekly Wake Ups, and when we have our wellness retreat events, we want to help everyone get exposed to wellness practices, wellness treatments, wellness tools. So you have a toolbox of how you care for yourself that works. And there's also this community aspect. So again, we want people to get results, and we have a network of providers, practitioners, all kinds of doctors, homeopaths, naturopaths, MDs. There are many tools available to all of us to make our own customized self-care lifestyle that works for us.
And always, if you can, choose preventive, alternative. That's why we always have to be, analyzing ourselves every day. Like Tiare tells us, we have to check in with ourselves, what's going on, and identify and focus how you can best serve your mind and your body each day. So, so that, we can be serving.
Yeah, because when we show up for ourselves, I love that analogy of the plane when we get educated to put the oxygen mask on ourselves first, and then we can help other people. So it's our responsibility, each of us, how do we put that self-care oxygen mask on ourselves to keep us in our best quality of life, our best health, and then that makes us most capable to help ourselves, help other people, and live a good quality life. And so when we're plugged into community, we have a lot of resources that we can share. We can share tools and referrals of a healthcare team that everyone can build. And what our lifestyle, this is about designing a wellness lifestyle for ourselves. And just
you have to. What
does that look like for us? How would we enjoy it? How can we make it easy, affordable, fun? How can we share it as part of quality time experiences? Even within this social distancing environment, we can still have small groups of 10 or less people. We can still gather in a space that's spacious for us to be safe with each other, to connect. There are now opportunities where things are open, like at Oasis Palisades. Acupuncture is essential. You can come for acupuncture treatments in person. You can come for the nutrient body sculpting treatments in person. But then also through our virtual offerings, you can still connect in a group class of belly dancing on Saturdays at 11. We can get plugged in and get the support that we need as a community and access all of our joint resources. We're so much stronger together, and we can help build each other up. So I think that's a wonderful note to leave on this week for your weekly wellness wake up, your check-in with yourself. Because again, in high performance people, from Brendan Burchard, his High Performance Habits book is asking us to look at thousands of participants in clinical research. What are the habits that made people the healthiest and most successful in life? They took care of their health and their relationships. They did not just overwork. They had work-life balance. They asked themselves, they checked in like this: how do I grow my wellness? Am I living in a way that promotes my wellness? Am I connecting with community? Do I have positive, supportive, healthy relationships that I engage with on a regular basis each month? And what are my habits during the day that help myself to combat anxiety and stress response that makes me mentally, emotionally, and physically sick, right? We have to face it, right, with courage and in a way that takes ourselves out of that automatic stress response. And it doesn't have to be hard or complicated. It can be belly dancing classes. It could be an herbal virtual consult. It can be a nutrient body sculpt treatment. It can be an acupuncture treatment. It can be a breathing technique in any moment that you feel stressed. We wanted to create this series to invite all of you to look at what is your self-care toolbox. How can we support you in building that up into one that's the most effective for you? So these are the opportunities we have. And of course, we could refer you as well to other healthcare team members if you need it. And overall, we are a resource for you to help you build your own self-care toolbox to be your own medicine.
And to build your own. I still am so in awe of the concept that Tiare presented yesterday of having your own herbal tea formula pharmacy at home, where like, oh, same thing as your essential oil pharmacy or your vitamin pharmacy. So, all right. Well, we need to go because we could be talking forever. So
yes,
thank you
all for joining us. It was great to be with you, Stephanie. And we'll see everyone again next week and enjoy a wonderful, week.
Believe in miracles, believe in miracles, set intentions, and
they happen each and every day.
Vibration high, because that's what you got to do to help yourself first, and then to be able to help others.
Yeah, become resilient and strong in the face of life's challenges. When we put these deposits in our spirit tank, our health savings account, with these daily practices and this awareness, then we're not as overwhelmed by the challenges. We can face them.
Yeah, amen.
And know that we can walk through it. So have a wonderful week walking through those challenges. We're going to be fine. We're going to be well. We're going to go back to joy and peace. We're going to stop and breathe. Come back to our best self and keep walking down our road here in this world. Yay. So have a wonderful, week, and we'll see everybody next Monday for another Wellness Wake Up with Oasis Palisades Retreat Collective.
Woo-hoo!
Bye, everybody. Bye, Stephanie. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.